Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us here today in Geneva. Can't believe we're finally back, WFHSS, after an absence of, 18 months, 2 years really. So to be here in person again after all this time is, quite something. For those of you here in person, brilliant that you could make it. For those of you who are joining us on YouTube, welcome. The first time we've ever done anything like this. So I tell you what, I am very nervous. I'll be blunt about it. Absolutely. The purpose of this little presentation this morning really is to set up a bigger, more significant event tomorrow. We're going to be presenting the findings of a study that we've been carrying out at a clinic in Germany. So today what we're going to be doing is looking at the situation, the theoretical situation that many hospitals may be facing today, and how we can go about making it more palatable, more straightforward, more efficient. Tomorrow at lunchtime, just after, in fact, you'll be able to see the real-world outcomes of this study and how implementing them in your institution could make a difference to what you can achieve within your CSSD. But we need to consider what is the typical situation today. Our instruments are returned from OR at different times, sometimes in a matter of minutes, sometimes hours. It could even be a couple of days if we have operations late on a Friday night and no shift until Monday morning. This in turn can create some different and challenging conditions as soil dries on the devices and needs then some sort of manual reprocessing in order to support the washer disinfector process. That in turn creates bottlenecks as the washer disinfectors wait for the staff members to have to complete their duties before we can load those washers. Any CSSD, or as it's more recently become known, RUMED, is a hive of activity mid-morning once the first round of operations finishes. But we need to consider, well, what does that activity really look like? What does it consist of? We have to sort our instruments, we have to dismantle, we have to soak, we may rinse, scrubbing, rinsing again, and I know from my own personal life that I'm occasionally guilty of overloading my washing machine when I'm trying to catch up on washing at the weekend, and we are exactly the same when we're in our CSSDs too. We are occasionally guilty of overloading our washers. It's that human element that just one more. I'll just get one more instrument in, just one more. And before we know where we are, we have a washer disinfector that cannot cope with the load we've asked it to deal with. All of this creates a cost. Your time, your effort, your energy, even your motivation. No one particularly enjoys working on the dirty side of CSSD. We have to consider the water that we use, the energy, the chemistry that generates. Excuse me 1 second, we just have a little bit of a fire alarm on the door. There we go. We have to consider as well the PPE that we use when we're manually reprocessing. The plastic waste that generates is obviously a very sensitive subject matter right now. We have to also consider the staff. The staff will be handling these instruments when they're contaminated at their most dirty as well. We'll come back to those specific questions a little later on. Another thing that we have to consider as far as our typical situation in CSSD is concerned is obviously after the washers have done their process, we have to inspect them. At this point, we may find a certain amount of instrumentation which is still dirty, still contaminated in some form or another. We may also find instruments which have functionality issues or have been damaged. But what about if we consider a different way? What about if we look at a process which will reduce our workload, that will reduce waste, that will reduce instrument repair costs, and ultimately increase efficiency on a massive scale? How about if we use the chemistry to our advantage? How about if we let the machines do the work? We handle instruments on the dirty side of CSSD, or again, RUMED, when they're at their most dangerous. They're contaminated with all manner of organic materials. We may even have a patient with an unknown status who could be infected with something or another that we may not wish to get into too much close contact with. If we look around the hall today, everybody, myself accepted right now, is wearing a mask. Handshakes are a little bit rarer than they once were, all because we're a little bit concerned still about the risk of an infection. Yet, we still ask and expect staff to handle these devices when they're at their most dangerous. My point is, our point is, let's let the machinery take that risk off of the shoulders of the staff. We propose setting up a process in your washer disinfectors that will mean the near elimination of manual inputs, including soaking, scrubbing, etc., as well as a significant reduction in instrument repair costs and damage as we handle the instruments less and less. But okay, how do we go about making such changes? We propose using firstly a product called Foam Plus, or its disinfecting cousin, Foam Active. Foam Plus and Foam Active chemistries can be used in order to reduce the amount of robust scrubbing that is needed or harsh chemistry that one would require for reprocessing high frequency or dithermy instrumentation. It can provide exceptional instrument protection over the long term against corrosive materials such as blood, chloride solutions, saline solutions, etc. And last but not least, over a period of up to 72 hours, we can certainly provide a cleaning effect for the devices, and thus making reprocessing that much easier for the staff when they have to start reprocessing those devices. The foam is only one part of the process. We consider as well then the combination with our twins chemistry. The twins chemistry, either in neutral or mild alkaline form, provides a significant cleaning effect. Essentially, we can take two chemistries, bring them together at the point of use, which creates a cleaning power which is quite frankly unparalleled. We've tested it extensively in terms of its cleaning efficacy with various indicators, of course real-life blood soils, and it has extensive data to support its use from hospitals across the world. We can see that we can use it with the most sensitive materials. Despite this very, very high cleaning power, we can still treat devices of a sensitive nature. And last but not least, it has been extensively laboratory tested, not only with numerous washer disinfectant manufacturers, but also with the most challenging devices, for example, the Da Vinci devices from Intuitive Surgical. So when we bring those two combination of those two products together, we can create something which is quite special. As I said, it will bring cleaning power to the fore. It will reduce manual workloads. And what I've done today is really just to tease a little bit, just a little. And now I have to leave you hanging just for 24 hours and ask you to come join us tomorrow for our symposium at just before 2 p.m. where we will present the real-world findings. We're delighted to be joined by Mrs. Cordula Hoffman of the Klinikum Weiden. She's the CSSD or room ed manager there, and those are the ones who've done the real work in this particular experiment. And they'll be presenting to you their real-life findings, and frankly speaking, they're quite remarkable results in terms of what they were able to achieve and how they were able to improve the efficiency within their department. So I really hope that you'll join us there for that tomorrow afternoon. For those of you unable to make it, after the symposium tomorrow afternoon during the breaks, you're welcome to come and join us. We have copies of the study that we'll be happy to share with you. For those of you joining us online, please contact us at medical@bora.ch. We'll be happy to send you out a copy of the study after the show so that you can read it and we can discuss it and work out how best to be able to help you in the future as well. We're not quite done as yet, however. For those of you who are still hungry for some booth presentations, we've got some more this afternoon, so please come and join us at 1:30 where Elena Lorenzo from Matachana will be here to speak about how we combine chemistry with washing and disinfection to create low impact but high output results. Tomorrow we'll be joined by Pavel Stoyalovsky from Aseptium. He'll be talking to us about process challenge devices, cleaning indicators, and how we can use them to our advantage to fine-tune our cleaning processes and really get the best out of the machines that we've invested so much money in. And last but not least, and to complete our series of small booth presentations, tomorrow afternoon Dr. Matthias Buhmann, our Head of Scientific Affairs, will be talking to us about how we can combine cleaning and disinfection in a single product without any loss of function on both sides. But for now, it's time for me to say goodbye. It's brilliant that you've been able to join us today, and as I said, I hope you'll come and talk to us over the course of the next few days about our processes, about our products, and we'll speak to you after the show. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of it and have a good afternoon. Thanks very much.